Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I be here. So today I'll be teaching on the topic stewardship. So let's dive into it. Who is a steward? A steward is someone that is a manager, someone that is responsible for the resources, properties, affairs of the master's household, and he's not the owner, but he's entrusted to look after, to care for whatever the master owns. So that is like us being entrusted with our life, our family, our resources, our relationships. God has entrusted us with these things to be faithful, a faithful servant. So we know the parable of the talent and how that happened when the master gave one 5 talents, gave the other 2, gave the other 1. The one that had the 5 talents multiplied it. The one that had the 2 multiplied the talent. The one that had the 1 felt entitled. He had a certain mindset. He told the master that he thought he was a harsh man, that he wants to reap where he did not sow, that he was afraid and went to hide it. And then the master was upset and said to him that he is a lazy servant, and he took from him and gave to the one that had 5, right? So God told the other the one that had the 5 talents, the master told the one that had the 5 talents and the 2 talents, well done, that good and faithful servant. So God expects whatever he has entrusted you with not to remain the same. He wants us to be a good steward. He wants us to be fruitful. He wants us to multiply. He wants us to have dominion. Remember in Genesis 1 verse 28, he said, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. So God has entrusted you with your health, your life. You're responsible for your health wise, emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise. The friendships God has entrusted you with. Are you being a good steward? The spouse, the children, you're a boss. How are you treating the people that God has entrusted you with? You're a teacher, you're a pastor. How are you stewarding the members that God has given to you? And when you're stewarding, you have to be willing. It's a willing thing. You have to do it willingly. What are the qualities of a good steward? You're trustworthy, you have integrity, you're responsible, you are faithful. You are faithful in the thing that he has entrusted you with. So I'm going to read a parable of the shrewd manager in Luke chapter 16 from verse 1 to 13. I'm just going to be quick. Is that okay? So Jesus told his story to his disciples. He said there was a certain rich man who had a manager handling his affairs. One day a report came that the manager was wasting his employer's money. So the employer called him and said, what's this I hear about you? Get your report in order because you're going to be fired. The manager thought to himself, now what? My boss has fired me. I don't have the strength to dig ditches and I'm too proud to beg. I'm reading the NLT version. I know how to ensure that I will have plenty of friends who will give me a home when I'm fired. So he had wasted the goods. Now he had wisdom. So he invited each person who owed money to his employer to come and discuss the situation. He asked the first one, how much do you owe him? The man replied, I owe him 800 gallons of olive oil. So the manager told him, take the bill and quickly change it to 400 gallons. And how much do you owe my employer? He asked the next man. I owe him 1,000 bushels of wheat, was the reply. Here the manager said, take the bill and change it to 800 bushels. The rich man had to admire the dishonest rascal. Did you hear that? For being so shrewd. He was now faithful. He was a good steward there. And it is true that the children of this world are more shrewd in dealing with the world around them than are the children of light. You see? Here's the lesson. Use the worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then when your possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. If you are faithful in little things, you'll be faithful in large ones. But if you are dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. And if you're untrustworthy about worldly wealth, who will entrust you with the true riches of heaven? And if you're not faithful with other people's things, why should you be trusted with things of your own? This is just about resources here, but you can see that he was not trustworthy. He was not a good steward. But then he turned aside and then he was now wise on what to do. That's why it's like, oh, the people of the world are wiser than the children of the light. God expects us, the children of the light, to be good and faithful servants, to be a good steward. Joseph, for example, he was a good steward in Potiphar's house, wasn't he? He was. And then later he was a governor in a palace because he was faithful in the little. Moses, sometimes the things that God has entrusted us with sometimes could be overwhelming. Moses was overwhelmed at some point in Numbers chapter 11 verse 14. He said, I'm just going to read quickly. He said, I'm not able to bear all these people alone because it is too heavy for me. But then God told him, okay, gather 70 elders of the men of Israel, and I'm going to take the spirit that is upon you and put on them you will not bear this burden alone by yourself. So sometimes the things that we feel like God has entrusted us with that you feel is overwhelming or is too much, you ask him for help. You ask him for wisdom because he has entrusted you. When he gave the people the parable of the talents, when he gave them the talent, he did not give them outside their ability. The Bible says he gave them everyone according to his ability. So God is not going to entrust you with something that is above your ability. And know that you're going to be accountable for whatever he has entrusted you with, because he came back to see what the servants did. The ones that he gave the 5 talents, the ones that he gave the 2 talents, and the one that he gave the 1. You're going to be accountable. What has God entrusted you with? Is it your gifts? Is it your talents? Is it your family? Is it the job? Is it the people around? Is it your spouse? What has God entrusted you with? And he wants to come back and hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Are you a good steward? How are you stewarding your life? How are you stewarding your family? How are you stewarding the things that God has entrusted you with? Selah. Pause and think. Are you a good steward? See you later. Bye.